Hey guys, Kevin here. So a few weeks ago I said that the time for red pilling is over. And I think nothing illustrates that better than the response to the stupid Gillette ad. I look at my feed and there's 1.5 million right-wing YouTubers doing response videos to the stupid shaving ad. And for what? Nothing's going to change. We are well past trying to inform people about the cultural Marxism and the subversion and all of the garbage that's happening in this country. What are you going to do about it? That's what we need to be talking about. And here's the thing. This ad and the response to it, it really reflects a problem we're seeing on the right now. Right now, we are being forced into internet ghettos. And this does two things that are very negative for the right. First of all, it creates these ideological echo chambers. And so we're just regurgitating the same garbage and pushing the same narratives and bouncing those ideas off of each other constantly to where they become tired and ineffective because the left know what we're going to say. And that's how the left became NPCs. That's how the left lost the ideological war because they couldn't debate us anymore. Their ideas were not strong enough to match ours. But now they know what we're going to say, and they can formulate responses to them because we're becoming predictable like they are. Now, the other problem these internet ghettos create for us on the right is they cause a lot of infighting. And it's pointless and ridiculous. You know, we can fight amongst each other after we save America, or what's left of it. You know, we can split it all up then. But until then, we need to be united. And I'm guilty of this too. And it's because we're stuck in these internet echo chambers, where leftists dare not encroach. On top of that, you have leftists everywhere recoiling from debate. And we have these news feeds and these algorithms that only show people the same response videos. And so then we start critiquing each other. We start purity spiraling. And it plays right into the hands of the left. Look, I get it, guys. You know, I understand that there are people out there who are way more committed to certain causes on the right. I understand that there are some people who aren't even that red-pilled on certain issues and probably could use more red-pilling when it comes to feminism or where cultural Marxism has its roots. But fighting with them, it doesn't do anything for our cause. And you know what? We are very easily united. We see it all the time. Every time we see ANTIFA start beating up people at Berkeley or in Portland, we all rally. But then a few weeks go by and we start turning our guns inward again. And some of that's because of left-wing subversion, without a doubt. But a lot of it is on us. Case in point, I called out Ben Shapiro for being a cuck a while back. And while I do think he is a cuck, I think that he does a lot of things to undermine nationalism and populism in America. I do realize that he has a place on the right, whether I like it or not. And when push comes to shove, I will stand behind Ben Shapiro against the commies, against the left. And that's the mindset we need to keep. So the infighting has to stop. Because we cannot get anywhere if we are fractured. And I know people on the very hard right, they might say that it will only take a few of us to do the work that needs to be done to save this country. And we need the purists. And while I am very hard right myself, that's complete BS. Because if we don't have support from a large portion of the population, we're going to find an enemy behind every blade of grass. And we will get nowhere. So we have to stand united. And look, as far as the videos, if you're going to make videos on something that everybody else is making videos on, offer solutions or different perspectives. I'm guilty of it, I do it too, but I try to bring something new to the table. And a boycott's not something new, okay? Boycotts don't work. Especially when Procter & Gamble owns all the knockoff razor companies. So what do we do in this case? Well, we find a product or a company that is loyal to our cause or at least empathizes with conservatives or capitalists or whatever else that might be aligned with our movement. And that's who we buy from. And we make a commitment and unite on the right behind that company. And if that company doesn't exist, well, then we figure out how to create that company. Because if we create a company that serves a need the right has, we can get very rich doing that. And I love the idea of co-ops. I love the idea of people on the right creating companies and then selling shares to other people on the right so that we can get rich. And with wealth comes power. And with power, that's what we need to change this country and put up roadblocks for our enemies. Now, as far as the masculinity thing, I just want to say this. A long time ago, I heard this quote, and it was something like, "You're not a man unless you've been to war, been to prison, been in a fist fight, and had sex with a woman." And while I've done all of those things, some several times over, others many times over, I don't necessarily agree with the quote itself, but I agree with the sentiment. You know, it's not the war or going to prison or being in the fist fight or having sex with a woman that's important. It's the things that cause us to want to do those things. Our male aggression, which is completely natural. It's how we channel that aggression. Our sex drive, which is completely natural. It's how we maintain that sex drive and use it for good, for procreation, for building a large, strong family. That's what's important. That's what creates a man. How we tame that urge also, that creates a man. That's masculine. And it's encoded in our DNA, and the left can't change that, but they will try because the left want us to be submissive. And that's the problem with men that the left have. Men are much more likely to question authority. Women are much more likely to submit to authority. So the left want to feminize men. Because if there's one thing the left can't handle, it is dissent. I mean, take anything, for example. Take flat earthers. Flat earthers. Most people would say, oh, that's the most ridiculous thing ever. And they'd ignore it. The left can't ignore flat earthers, for God's sakes. They have to print articles in the Huffington Post and all these other left-wing publications constantly bashing on flat earthers. Why? Because they cannot handle any dissent whatsoever. They can't handle that somebody would dare question their tower of academia that they have guarded so tightly with their nepotism and their corruption and their propaganda. Anyway, guys, that's all I had to say. You know, like I said, I'm done red pilling. I'm going to either black pill people or I'm going to talk about solutions. And I hope you guys will too. And look, you don't have to all go to the same news story. There's lots of stuff out there we are missing. And the best way to find new information is to go on the left-wing websites. Or go on places like Campus Reform and College Fix. Or what's the other one, the right-wing one? Big League Politics. Sometimes they have a lot of great information that's not getting out there into the blogosphere or the YouTube circles. So, yeah, if you're going to do videos on YouTube and you want to just continue to try red pill people, try to red pill them on something else that's happening, something that's not catching our attention. Those are more interesting in my opinion. Anyway, later guys.